Romans 10:17 says, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word. Uprightness, decency, responsibility comes by hearing and hearing and hearing, in addition to other factors, of course. Why decadence, rottenness, immorality, social vices, irresponsibility can also come by hearing and hearing. Every individual God made, whatever state you are right now, meaning whatever position, pedestal, or accomplishment you've achieved, you are that partly as a result of the voices you have heard, partly as a result of what you have allowed access into your ear gates. All right. So tonight I'm going to be having a very, very profound program with a sexuality and trauma coach, Auntie Omolayo Oyawoye. She's a specialist when it comes to mental health, when it comes to sexual education for the children, when it comes to child abuse, sexual abuse, and trauma. As a matter of fact, and as a point of information, she's the one who takes my registered mentees. She takes them sexuality education once every month. Yes, I decided to partner with her that, okay, while I take my mentee spirituality and morality, let me get a coach for them that is good with sexuality education. And by sexuality education, I don't mean maybe teaching them about sex or what have you. She teaches them how to respect their body, how to groom their body, how to nurture their self, how to build self-confidence, and a lot of other things. So when I say I'm bringing her in for tonight's program, you parents should know that you are about to be really, really, really blessed and your mindset nourished. And so, like I said earlier, get your jotter and your pen by your side, because tonight's program is going to contribute majorly to the outcomes your children are going to be having in 2025. So hold on while I bring her in. Hold on while I bring in my guests. And please get your writing materials by your side, because like I said, tonight's program would really, really bless you if you are a parent. All right. So let's wait for her to come in and we begin the program. And the topic is critical conversations to have with your children before 2025. Critical conversations to have with your children before the year 2025. This network should cooperate, please, because this one that is rolling and rolling and rolling, I don't want to do this by myself. I want Auntie Omolayo with me. Auntie Omolayo, can you type on the screen if there's any response you are getting there, so that I will perhaps try to send you an invite for you to come in instead of the other way round. Okay, let's try the other way round. Just hold on. Okay, invite. Okay, I'm the one inviting her now. I pray in the name of Jesus that this ad will be successful, so that you can get true value for your time tonight. Critical conversations to have with your children, no matter their age categories, before 2025. Auntie Omolayo, what are you getting there at your end? Okay, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. While we wait to bring Auntie Omolayo in, let me just give you a background to what we are doing tonight. A lot of children have become delinquents. A lot of children have. What's happening? No, please hold on. Okay. We are not getting anything. Then if they are your audience is settled. Okay. Let's see. I pray this would be a success. Good. I think I've been able to bring her in. Auntie Omolayo.
Oh, finally, thank God.
I was already
I know.
that I want to do this by myself. No, please let this woman just join. You look
I
pretty,
know,
ma.
right? Good evening, ma'am. Thank you.
You
You
look
too.
good. Good. It's nice having
And
you here.
belated birthday wishes, ma.
Thank you, ma.
God bless you. We want to
Amen.
celebrate you on behalf of all your mentees and their parents. We want to
Yes,
celebrate you big. We want you to know that we love you. You're really special. You're doing a great job.
thank
May the Lord
you.
bless you and replenish you. May generations to come in your old age, children who have become adults will celebrate you and tell of how much your impact is in their lives as adults in the name of Jesus. You never regret coming into this space. We celebrate you. And thank you for being my friend from our farm, my friend from Ondo State. I know that one day we will meet,
Yes,
right? We will
one day.
meet, yes. And
By
I'll hug
God.
you so tightly, you will not know.
Thank you, ma'am. God bless you. So please,
Yes, ma'am.
my viewers, this is Auntie Omolayo Yawoye, and like I said earlier, she's a sexuality and trauma coach, and she's good at what she does. This is a woman you would want to listen to with rapt attention, as in you won't want any of her words to escape you. So get your jotter and your pen ready. The topic for tonight is critical conversations to have with your children, no matter their age, before 2025. Auntie Omolayo, over to you. Let's have your introduction.
Thank you so much, Ma. It's really good to be here. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for always joining our conversation. My name is Omalayo Yawe, and I totally love to do this. I think that these conversations are important because parents can no longer tiptoe around important and critical conversations that have to do with their children. You can no longer tiptoe around it. You can no longer be diplomatic about it. You can no longer be quiet. You can no longer use being busy chasing money, your career and your business, ministry, whatever it is that you do as an excuse not to prepare your children for the future that they need to live without you. Because we all know that we have a certain number of years to spend with our children. We won't always be there with them in their physical space. Now, what you're doing now with them is not just about now. It's not just about, let me just give them good food, let them look healthy. No, everything you're doing now you have to have the future in mind. When the devil wants to attack a generation, he doesn't attack them because of their now. He attacks a generation because of the future. Parents need to be that proactive. Every conversation you have with your children now is not about now, it's about the future. Our job tonight is to introduce you to such topics so that you continue to build upon it and prepare them for the future. That no, you are not going to die, they are not going to die, but when they are not with you, they'll make decisions that you would be proud of. That's my introduction.
Good, good, brilliant. Well done, Auntie Omolayo. I'm so happy you are here with me. So this is how we are going to have the program. I will ask you some questions and you'd answer to details. As a matter of fact, even if we are staying for just few minutes, I want the parents to get quality, if you know what I mean. So go into details. If we cannot finish it tonight, we can have episode 2. But go into details with your point so that they can really get you. So when you are done, I will just add 1 or 2 points because I have a few points listed here as well so that we can go on. So parents, for those of you watching, please, you might like to share this program on your Facebook profile so that other parents that are your friends can also be nourished. Like I always say, when you are getting value, be generous with it. It's also another way to help this generation. So God bless you. So Auntie Omolayo, critical conversations to have with your children before 2025. Can you tell us some of the conversations that parents are supposed to realistically, factually, clearly, and understandably have with their children before we begin a new year, no matter their age category? Over to you, ma.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So here is how I'm going to do it, because I know that the parents listening to me now would have children of different ages, right? So we're going to begin from toddler, right? We'll begin from toddler, we talk about preteens, we talk about teenagers, and then we talk about adults. I won't be surprised if we have parents who already have children in their 20s, in their 30s, and who would also like to benefit from this, all right? And so if we are talking about toddlers, I don't want you to shut your ears and, leave the live. It will soon be the turn where you get something really, and I mean, we should all learn for all children, because you can never tell. You could have a niece as a toddler, you could have a neighbor's child who's a toddler, and you may want to have these conversations with them, okay? Now, what kind of conversations do you want to have with toddlers? That's what some of parents are asking, right? Like, okay, my child is just 2, my child is just 3, what do they know? Don't do that. You and I know that children begin to make meaning, sense of other people, of other things, right from the womb. All right. When you're pregnant, a child can know when you're working in the light or you're working in the darkness. A child in the womb can know when the mother is in a bad mood or in a happy mood. You could tell by their movement sometimes. Right? A child can already know the mother's voice from the womb. What I'm saying is that your child is not too young to understand conversations, right? What we are just saying is have age-appropriate conversations. So, for instance, you have a toddler and you're wondering, okay, my toddler is 2, is going to be 3 next year. You know why it's important to hold conversations before the new year? We all know that the new year births another age. Your child that is 2 years old now will be 3 next year. Being 3 is another age circle entirely. You can't assume that, oh, my child that is 2 is just going to be 3. There's nothing much. There's something much. By 3, they are going into a new class. By 3, they are meeting new people. They are growing, all right? And so, you see, it's a big deal. So having that conversation critically means that you are preparing them for their new age. You need to know that with each age comes new challenges, comes new changes, comes new experiences. And it is easier for a child to be able to understand a new age when it's been prepared. So what conversations do you want to have with toddlers? Now, this depends on a child's developmental age. And I need you to listen to me critically. There is a developmental age of a child. There is a chronological age of a child. A child can be 2, a child can be 3 years and behave like a 6-year-old. The developmental age of a child is different from the chronological age of a child. Chronological age is the one we are used to. 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old. That's the chronological age. Yeah, the developmental age, however, also talks about the IQ age, right? The age of expression. You could have a 5-year-old child who already behaves like a 7-year-old, or you have a 5-year-old who still behaves like a 2-year-old. And this meeting is going to be also useful for parents who have children living with autism, who are neurotypical, neurodivergent, I beg your pardon. All right. So this conversation depends on your child's developmental age. It means that what is the age of their development? There are some children that their developmental age is the same as their chronological age. It means that they behave as they behave according to their age. But many children in this generation do not behave according to their age. I'm sure sometimes you listen to a child talk and you wonder, how old are you? When I was your age, I didn't even know what that means, right? So when you're having conversation with a child, you want to check, what is this child's developmental age? Does it tally with their chronological age? Does this 2-year-old child actually behave like a 2-year-old? I was watching a documentary yesterday, and I saw this child who could read at 2 years. She began to read. Yeah, 2 years. So she couldn't cope in her class anymore because she couldn't learn what the others were learning. Her age, her developmental age was way past, right? Our age mates. There are children like that, right? So you want to sit with your child and know what developmental age is my child. And honestly, parents, you can't know this if you do not observe. I am always shouting the skill of observation. You need to be observant. It's when you're observant that you know that, okay, this child is growing faster, or no, this child is growing slower, or this child is growing at par, right? So if you're sure that, okay, my child's developmental age and chronological age are the same, then we begin to talk to them about, I mean, whichever layer they are, we begin to talk to them about the different kind of skills that make a child become independent, all right? Like communication skill. You need to watch how your children address other people. You need to watch how your children express themselves. How do they express their feelings? How do they express their needs? How do they express their emotions? You need to teach them on better expression. Let them know how to express themselves when they are hurt. Let them know how to express themselves when they are unhappy about something. Let them know how to express an apology. Let them know how to express a concern. This is critical because you need your child to be able to tell you what they are feeling inside. So sit with your child, have that critical conversations with them when you've seen their communication skill, social skills, fine motor, spiritual skills. Now begin to now say that, okay, I think that my child can express. There are children who are good at expressing emotions, but they are deficient in expressing themselves to other people. All right. So when anything happens, they throw tantrums. They will cry, throw themselves up, just do all of those things. Do you understand me? That is how they let you know that they need something. But that is not the right way to let you know they need something, because you are their parents. Maybe you get it, but when they get to school and their classmate is stepping on their toes, bullying them, they can't express displeasure. They are not used to it. They don't know how, because you haven't taught them, because they haven't observed you describing your own emotions. So it's important to talk to your children about communication skills, and toddlers can learn this easily. It's not difficult. When your child is throwing tantrums, calm them down. Sit them down and say, next time you want me to buy you candy, you don't cry, you don't shout, you don't go pick a candy from the fridge, you talk to mommy or you talk to daddy. Daddy, I need candy. I could either say no or yes. That is you telling a 3-year-old how to ask, make requests, communication skills. You go to social skills. How are your children making friends? Especially if you have an only child. When you have an only child, it is critical that you build their social skills. You have to be intentional about it. My sister and I today were discussing about my children's friends, and she was asking, oh, how do I know when to allow them to go visit their friends, when to say no? I said, see, my children's friends, most of the time, their parents are my own friends too. When we moved from a place to a new place, when my children got to this new school, I asked them, have you met new people that you like in your classroom? They said yes. Do they stay in the same space that we are? They said yes. For 2 days, we went to these people's houses, knocking on their door, me and my children. What do I want to do? I want to meet the parents of these children who are becoming my children's friends. I wanted them to know, you know what? We are social people. We make friends, but we also need to check out the kinds of friends we want to make. So I followed them. I met their parents, all right? I introduced myself. I sat down, took water, took biscuits in the house. We had a conversation. Me, I was scanning who my children's friends were by scanning their parents, all right? So when I scanned, I said that, oh, it looks like these people, we are. So next time they want to go to the house, I'm fine. I've been to the house. I've seen the environment. I've seen the parents. Okay, yes, you can go. You have 2 hours. Be back home before 6. Be back home before 7. All right? You teach social skills, even to toddlers. You see that your toddler has a friend, buy a biscuit. Say, this is for your friend in school, okay? I'm going to tell your friend's mom that I sent biscuit. You know, social skills, these are important. You know, I know that the society has turned, you know, in a very difficult way. So we are really afraid, oh, your children should be inside. Don't play with anybody. Don't know. You are causing them harm. Remember, I said that what we are doing now is not about now, it's about the future. Your child will soon become an adult someday, independent of you, but they can't make friends. They can't leave the house. You will get worried because you are trying to reach them. You can't reach them. You can't even say, oh, I know this person as my child's friend. I can call Lolade. If I call Lolade, he'll be able to help. He will be able to tell me where my daughter is. You can't. You are worried. They will have jobs. They can't pin down their job. They can't sustain the job because they don't know how to. They don't have social skills. Build social skills from toddler. Honestly, you are making your job easier. All right. I don't want to stay too long here because, you know, there are so many things to talk about.
So from what you have said, okay, you spoke about social skills. Can you give us the points from that so that we can proceed?
Okay. So when social skills, it means that your children would make friends. You know, help your children make friends. Help them know attributes of good friends. Talk about attributes of good friends. Talk about how they can maintain friendship with friends. All right, how to let their friends know when they've hurt them. All right, how to also apologize when they've hurt their friends or their friends have hurt them. Talk to them about visitation. All right, so there are so many things packed up in social skills. Okay,
how to be expressive and all of that. So that conversation, when they are having it with their children, they can have it with them age appropriately. Maybe toddler, preteen. So what other points have you just mentioned, ma? So that they can draw out the substantive.
Fine motor skills is another point. So that is using their fingers. All right. So some of them, you need to strengthen their pencil grip, how to hold pencils. All right. So you have that conversation with them. And that's what we are saying is conversation, not just action. You collect pencil, put it in your child's hand and use it to, no. Talk to them. This is how to hold a pencil, right? This is how to turn your circle, you know, because they are going further in this new class they are in. They are going further. They'll be learning deeper things in second term, right? So teach them with what? So fine motor skills, how to use their fingers, how to hold a pencil, spoon, fork, all those things that involve fingers.
Okay, so these are the 2 points you have just mentioned. So let me add a few points.
Communication skill.
Communication, that they should always learn to tell when they are going through things instead of throwing temper tantrums.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of bottling. Okay, so those are the 3 points you have mentioned. You still have more time to tell us more. So you spoke about chronological calendar and developmental age. Chronological age, developmental age. That a lot of parents are only aware of chronological age. Oh, my child is 7 years old. My child is 13. They are not aware that there's such a thing called developmental age. And it is the developmental age that really determines what they do. Because some children are older and they act younger, while some are younger, they act older. Okay, so no matter the I want to add just 2 points, then we move to the next question. Okay, so no matter the chronological or developmental age of your children, I want you to also know, in addition to what she has said, that a conversation that is important for you to have with your children before they move into the new year is they must be close to God. no matter their age, they must have relationship with God. And their own personal relationship with God is distinct from your own. Because a lot of children will say, my mommy prays for me, my daddy prays for me, I don't need to pray. Tell them that their walk with God is individualistic, no matter their age. A lot of you will think this one is too young, she can't understand, he can't understand. How do they understand songs from cartoon? How do they watch their programs and they keep rhyming along the songs and they keep telling each other, oh, this was what happened when you were not here, this was what happened in the last episode? Your children can understand much more than you will ever know, because even I think they have better memory than us adults, because a lot of things that happens with them and to them, they remember more clearly. So let them clearly know that in 2025, if they can build better relationship with God by having times when they pray by themselves, when they pray for themselves, and also reading their own age appropriate Bible, that it will help them to get closer to God. And while you are telling them that, also let them know that because they will want to know why. Even if I have better relationship with God, what will that do for me? Let them know the advantage, the benefits, that if they build closer and more intimate relationship with God by themselves, that it will help them to avoid lots of mistakes. A lot of things that made them fall this year will not be able to fall them next year. It will help them to have better outcomes. Age appropriately, you let them understand these things, that when you have better relationship with God, when you pray more, when you read the Bible more, when you tell God what you are going through, even before you tell me, it will make you to have better outcomes in every area of your life in 2025. So one more point before I move to Auntie Omolayo. I've spoken about telling them factually and age appropriately that each of them should have good relationship, better relationship with God. Another thing is, tell them they need good manners. And Omolayo, you will be shocked that the number of children, especially pre-teenagers and teenagers, that I meet that are so mannerless. A lot of these children, they lack good manners. They don't know how to greet, they don't know how to apologize, they don't know how to say please, they don't know how to say thank you, they don't know how to say sorry. Dear parents, teach your children sound morality. Talk to them. This year you did well, I'm proud of you, but going into 2025, I would be happier and it will do you better if you can have better manners. She might say, what do you mean, Mom? Are you saying I'm rude? It's not about being rude. It's about being polite to people. It's about showing your gratitude when people do nice things for you. It's about apologizing when you commit error. You tell them clearly without any ambiguity. And I think if you can have this conversation with them before the year runs out, it would, culminatively make them to have better outcomes in 2025. Auntie Omolayo, let's hear more from you, ma.
That's so good. Thank you for sharing that, Ma. So yes, there's spiritual skills cuts across. There is no age that a child can be that they can't talk to God or hear from God. You need to let them know that. And I usually would say that when you're when you're having this kind of conversation with them, you should have personal examples you can share with your children. Storytelling drives home the point more, especially, in fact, for everybody, but especially for children. So let them know how your relationship was with God when you were their age. Maybe the first time you heard God speak to you, all of those things. So that's very important. So I want to talk about, preteens, and those are, they are moving fast towards teenage, from 8, even 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. This set of people, you can now take the conversations deeper, all right? Don't forget that sexuality education spans through all ages. There is no age you can have sexuality education with your children, all right? There's a book for boys that I wrote, this one also helps them. It's from 7 to middle teenagers, right? This book is for boys, called Bro Code. I have another one for girls. It's called My Teen's Diary. They can benefit from that. There's a hard and a soft copy. If you want some, you can reach out, and Sayedo Rishi would be able to reach me, or you can send me a DM as well. It will also help them independently when you are not them. But it is very important that you teach them about their body, how their body is developing, the changes they will experience in their emotions, in their body. Toddlers can learn that, you know. Now, preteens, especially preteens, by 8, 9, a boy and a girl will start seeing the changes. An 8-year-old girl at this generation already has budding breasts. You need to have that conversation with them before it starts. Let them know, you know what, this is going to happen to you. A boy will begin to feel some changes in their voice. They will begin to see more hair on their legs. They'll begin to even have erections, wet dreams. Those are critical conversations to let them have. All right? You would have these conversations so that by next year, when they are clocking a higher age and they are witnessing all these changes, nobody's surprised. It will be easier for them to even come and tell you, oh, mommy, I noticed this. When I slept, I had this dream. And when I woke up, my bed was wet. Oh, mommy, this boy. It will be easy for them to have such conversations with you if you have first had it with them. Okay? Now, preteens, you have to introduce them to, the girls need to know about menstruation. There is no hiding it. Don't let your child learn about menstruation online. You don't want them to do that. If they Google it, they are going to swallow junks. All right? And the biological teacher will not do the job you as a mother or you as a father can do. So tell the girl already, yes, 8 years old. I'm saying 8 years old. I know someone who started at 8, but you can't tell when your child will start. So if you say, oh, no, my child can't start at 8, and then they start, what happens? They'll be able to tell you. Okay? So have that conversation. Show them how a pad is used, disposed, how to maintain hygiene. All right? Tell them about cleaning of the body, personal grooming. Your boys should learn that as well. Personal grooming, washing their boxers, even storing it in laundry. I do not understand why teenagers and preteens, we have a laundry basket and not use it. I don't get it. There is obviously a basket. They will just throw it, put it on the wardrobe, on the chair, on the table in their room, and the laundry basket will be empty. And you are watching. I don't get it. So you need to enforce it. It's a conversation you would have. In fact, I would suggest that families sit around the table, especially when you have children in these different kinds of age. Sit around the table and say, this year, like Asayolu said, we have all done so well. But next year, these are our goals as a family. We will take care of the house better. Nobody drops plates on the dining table. Mommy's wig will not be found on the dining table. Daddy's socks will not be found in the living room. You know, and then distribute the goals so that everybody knows that, okay, we are, anybody that flouts the goal, you can already mention it. No, this was not the conversation we had in December. Okay, everybody washes their plates when they are done eating. That's how. All right, you are indirectly now making them used to structure. They will not be disorganized. All right, because they are used to structure. Many times our children are disorganized because there is no structure. Nobody's talking about it. We just talk about it randomly. All right, so you sit with them, have that family goal. So next year, because all of you are in your preteen age, these are the likely things that are supposed to happen. Talk to your boys about wet dreams, all right? And this is also a good time to talk about actions and their consequences. Actions, and because see, this is a time where their hormones are raging, right? This is a time where crush is high, you know, sexual urge is high, peer pressure is high. Prepare them before they feel it, right? See, this age, it is not time for you to be skipping movies that they are kissing. They need to understand that this kissing you are seeing, it is not for your age, it is for adults. Because if they get to school, they will tell them in school or anywhere else that, oh, there's no big deal. After all, white people do it. All right? So you let them know, people who engage in premarital sex, who kiss people that they are not married to, there are consequences for it. So you don't do it. Because who are you? You are a child of God and you are an Oyawoye. Oyawoyes don't mess up their bodies before they get married. You know, you will pump them up. That's how we do it. Do you understand me? You pump them up everywhere they go. They will say to themselves, I am an Oyawoye. I don't mess up my body. I am a child of God. I don't. You know, that is how we do it. Okay, so sit them down, have that conversations with them, ask them about what do you already feel in your body? What can you tell me about your body? Are there things happening in your body that you don't understand, that you want to ask mommy or you want to ask daddy? Ask. I want to appreciate the men on this call. You are the real MVP. You are the one who
let me tell you about Mr. Olatomi Boyede. He registered 3 children with me into my mentorship. 3 girls.
You are the president general among the nations. I do like this for you, sir. I do like this for you, sir. Because we know men don't get involved in this conversation, and it is telling in our society. We need men who will get involved in that conversation, who will sit with their children and say, tell me, is there anything bothering your mind? Is there something you feel in your body that you need to, that I don't know? Is there anything you feel in your emotions that I don't know? It's important when they hear their daddy asking them, they'll be free to talk to their daddy. Let me quickly share you this story. I also read it online yesterday. It was a medical doctor that was saying that they brought in a child, a boy, who was running temperature, who was feeling weak and everything. They kept asking him, are you okay? Are you okay? He kept saying, no, he's fine. He's fine. That he fell or something. That he fell and scratched his body. The father said that's what he told them at home. They got to the hospital. Nothing changed. Until the following day, when the boy was obviously losing life. That was when the younger brother now started crying and said, oh, they went to their friend's house and the boy was beaten by a dog. Eventually, the boy died. The boy didn't make it. Now, the doctor was so pained and said that, how would a parent be so hard and harsh that a child cannot come home and say, I was beaten by a dog?
Some of them are too strict. Some parents are too impact.
And people saying, you know what we were shouting before was, oh, parents are too hard. Their children can't talk to them about sex. Their children can't talk to them about their struggles they're having sexually. If a child cannot say, mommy, I went out, I fell down, or what is going on? We need to be as friendly to our children enough so that the younger brother was saying, I was afraid, I didn't want to, daddy was going to shout at me. You see, when we are talking about strictness is just not about beating. You see, raising your voice, it makes a child become anxious. You know, always. I'm not saying there are not times like that. You know, you are stressed from work, you're tired, you're angry, so you shout, but let it not be a norm. Let me tell you, when you raise a voice as a child so often, it impacts their brain. I'm a trauma therapist. I've sat before men and women who during their childhood, it was noise everywhere. Daddy shouting, mommy shouting, even shouting their names. I'm also trying to learn it. Don't just call people from upstairs and they're downstairs. Kelly, that noise can impact their brain if they hear it often. This child said I was afraid that he was going to shout. That's why we didn't. That a dog beat a boy. And
he could not tell.
He could not tell. And the doctor was saying, if he had told their father that day, and they had brought the boy in that day, they would have given him anti-rabies and he would have been fine. But he couldn't tell because he was afraid. Many of us were raised in fear. Even though you feel like, oh, but I turned out well, but you are struggling with anxiety. You are struggling with your mental health. It didn't start today because you lost your job. It started when you were a child, the way your parents raised you. We don't want to repeat that in this generation. Don't raise children with fear. It is costly. The discipline. We are just shouting, oh, they will not be disciplined. It's a lie. They will be disciplined. We just need to use wisdom. You know, Bible said that we draw there's a way we draw the rod, and there's a way the Bible puts it, right? That fear the right and spoil the child. Thank you. Now, what I heard this from somebody I respect so much, and it makes a lot of sense to me. It says, when the Bible was talking about a rod, it was talking about the staff of a shepherd. When you see a shepherd with a staff, You are not likely to see that shepherd hitting the cattle with the stick. What the shepherd does is to guide them away from the road. You usually see it in Nigerian roads. Just guide them away from where they are going. He can show it up. He can be doing like this just to guide. He will not be hitting them like this. He doesn't. A shepherd will not hit them like that's what the scripture says. But in Africa, we have used it to mean that we should beat the hell out of them. We will not beat fear in them. So the conversation they ought to hold with us, they are not able to hold it with us. We need to stop listening to people tell you beat. Beating does not say when you beat a child, it's not about what the child has done most of the time. It is your anger that you are not able to solve. You should resolve your anger. All of us. Yes, you are angry. Some of us will beat children as if they've done the worst in the world, and we, when we were their age, we did worse things, right? But you see, when you beat them like that, it's not them you are beating. You are angry for some weird reason, and you are pouring it out on them. Children will always be children. We should be the adults. And I want to beg all of us listening to that, let us heal from our own childhood trauma. Heal from your childhood trauma so that you don't bleed on your children. You don't raise a cycle of trauma in your family. I have a book that is called A Walk to Healing. That book expresses my own trauma and how I had to heal so that I don't bleed on my children. I was sexually abused, and unconsciously, I was trying to raise my children with fear. I didn't even know. I just thought I was protecting them. I thought I was just protecting them. My first daughter, I always pity her. When she was a child, when she goes to school and comes back, I will say, yeah, remove your pants. Let me see. Every day, I did that for almost 4 years. Let me see your pants. I'll just say, oh, how are you? I hope nobody touched you. I hope nobody. I was doing that for that poor child. He got to a point where my daughter comes from school. He would not, after greeting me, he would just say, Mommy, nobody touched me. Mommy, nobody. I just realized, wait, what am I doing? This is me bleeding on a poor child. Yes. So if you don't heal from your own trauma, you will bleed on your children and you think that you are being a good parent. I thought I was being a good mother. I was just protecting them, but I overdid it. Thank God that I woke up on time. If you need that book, I'm going to get it sent to you. It's called A Walk to Healing. I don't have a copy here with me right now. But I'm going to send you the...
Can I put your number? Call your number. I just want to type it out.
08051 75 3481 5175 3481. That book would also help you to begin your own healing. Right? So that's my number. You can reach out to me so that I can get it sent to you. All right.
So
go ahead, ma.
Now, what are the points? What are the conversations to have with your child before 2025?
You must have the sex education. Have the sex education with them. The sex education conversation with them. All right. The next conversation to have with them, and I mean, sex education involves physical and emotional development. Right. The next conversation to have with them is that every action they perform has consequences. So before they perform any action, they should ask themselves, am I willing to face the consequence of what I'm about to do? Right? They should talk to them about peer pressure, because the older you grow, the higher your pressure. They should talk about everything that is involved in peer pressure. They should talk about their goals, right? What do you want to achieve next year in your maths, in your English, in all of those things? That's also a very important conversation to have. Talk to them about friendship, them about love of family. Those are important.
Okay. So from everything you have said now, there are some points there that really hits me. Number one, you said the parents should discuss with their children that every of their actions would have consequences in 2025. And parents should endeavor to, if you say it has consequences, enforce those consequences, especially when they do what they are not supposed to do. Also, they should also reduce codes. A lot of the times when parents are having sexuality talks with their children, they use too much code. Your vagina, which one is your coochie? Your flower, your this. Be clear. Parents should be clear with them so that they can know exactly what to look out for. They can really clearly understand. They should use less codes. And also, you said that some parents are too strict. that they should tone it down in 2025. And in addition to that, I want to say to parents now that love trumps discipline for me. When you love a child, when you
Absolutely.
show it, when a child is secure in your love, in fact, that child will not even want to hurt you. That child will consider you before he or she does something that might likely hurt you. But a lot of African parents focus more on discipline. They shout, they bleed on their children because of their own past traumas. Okay, let me just add 2 points to that. Okay, from my end here, dear parents, I want you to discuss with your children about hard work and diligence. When a drummer is drumming, it is not the first and second hits that bring melody. It is the consistency, you know. As the drummer keeps drumming and hitting the drum, it becomes a tune, it becomes a melody. Tell your children that they should be consistent with hard work. You know, Auntie Omolaye, a lot of the parents in my mentorship program, a lot of them were grateful, you know, that their children did better this school term, while a few of them were complaining that their children didn't really do well. So one of them was telling me that I think I'm failing as a parent because my two children, their results are not so okay. And I told her, you are not failing as a parent because your children's school results are bad. You need to tell them every child is responsible for their outcome. If a
Yes,
child
please.
lazy, even when you pray, when you put them in good schools, when you get lesson teachers, when you register them with Auntie Taye Lolu for mentorship, if a child does not know, if a child does not understand the importance of his or her own hard work, there's no way that child will do well in school. So you should have this conversation with your children. Be hardworking. Have clear times when you read and study so that you can do better. And for those of them that are already academically very excellent, there's always room for improvement. So be clear. Tell them, my prayers, my love, my everything will help you psychologically, but you need to put in the hard work practically. Also, you already mentioned friends. Parents, discuss the importance of the quality of friends your children keep. Discuss it clearly. There's a seminar I went for in 2021 at Mommy Funke Felix Adejumo's resort. It was a few of us women in ministry, and she was telling us that we are in ministry now. Our friends should change. And you know, she explained this with lots of examples, and she concluded by saying that your network determines your net worth. Your life is worth the quality of people around you. So parents, be clear to your children. If they have any friend that has been derailing them, pulling them back, or swaying them to immorality, they should unapologetically withdraw from those friends and have better friends. Because ultimately our children would look like the closest friends they have. If their closest friends are bad, no matter how good they are presently, they will soon become bad. So those are my own 2 points for now. I said friends, and I also said, what other points did I say? Okay, I think I drew, okay, hard work and diligence. So Auntie Omolayo, let's have the third session from you while I had a few points to it, and we check the
Okay.
time and see round
Okay.
up.
Thank you so much for that, Ma. So, what conversation should you have with teenagers? Right now, teenagers are the adults who are still babies, you know, baby adults. I don't want to call them young adults, right? And these ones, honestly, the group of teenagers we have right now, their developmental age is higher than their chronological age. No thanks to the internet, right? They know so much. And you can't assume they do not know. You can't assume your teenagers do not know. So here, it's not time to dish instructions and, you know, like you did for the other ones we've talked about. This is a time to ask questions. With teenagers, ask questions, all right? When they mention a word, be genuinely interested. What do you think this word means? Why have you suddenly started using these words? What does it connote? All right, learn from them. That's the best way to reach them, because when you learn from them, you'll be able to use their own language to reach them. Let me tell you, every industry has a language. a language of
Okay.
success. In your career, there is a language of success. There is a way to talk, to go on, to keep climbing the success ladder. Same as in your business, right? Now, every age group has a language. Every generation actually has a language. These teenagers have a language, and you must be able to speak their language. All right. I do not mean literally, but if you can speak, if you can speak Gen Z literally, good for you. All right. But you need to ask a lot of questions. What do they think about life? What do they think about God? I had that conversation with my daughter some time ago. My mind was blown. All right. So she suddenly begins to ask me, Mom, is it true that, no, she said that I think that there is not only one God. I think that there are more than one gods. Initially, I was afraid, like, hey, you just get that you have been going to church all this while. You don't know that there's only one God. You know, but I did not allow my African mind to enter. So I was like, tell me more. What do you think? So she began to talk to me about the book, the Old Testament, how the scripture talks about the different gods. Belial, Baal, all of said those ones are gods as well. I said, oh yes, fantastic. There is not there are more than one God, but there is only one living God. That is where we concluded. I was so happy. Now, if I had said, no, shut up, don't say that, there is only one God, we will argue. She will never believe me. And the devil will now use that opportunity. So when I now come with the truth, she say, they are not they're not thinking critically. I have to have learned to keep short when they are talking, because I need to be able to find objectivity in what they are saying in order for me to now present my own arguments. That's how to roll with teenagers. As you go into the next year, ask them, so next year, what are the things you want to look out for? Bring out your diary and let's write. I usually would start that conversation. Let me tell you what I want to do next year. All right. These are my career goals. These are my spiritual goals. These are what's yours? Because I've started, they are compelled to answer me. So let them tell you, then begin now to ask them. So why do you have this goal? What's the point of having this goal? Then it will help you to now teach them about, of course, we continue to talk to them about their body. Now, let me quickly expound this a bit. Now, as a teenager, you may need to begin to introduce them to contraceptive. And when I say introduce them to contraceptive, it doesn't mean, oh, go and buy it and do all of that. Let them know what happens when there is premarital sex. When there's premarital sex, people get pregnant. And premarital sex is not an attribute of a child of God. All right? How do you prevent pregnancy? There are many ways people prevent pregnancy, but it is only adults who use it, not children. Now, why is this important now for teenagers? It's because, at 14, 15, people are getting into the university. I hope you know that. Children are getting to university. And the moment your child gets into the university, I'm sorry, you have lost them by more than 50%. Right? And in the university, they will definitely talk about, in fact, they will start seeing contraceptives. All right? Yes. If you don't tell them the right things, when they get in there, they think that's the norm. So you tell them that, yes, there are ways people prevent pregnancy, but it is dangerous. And only adults who are married are supposed to use it. Of course, it also depends on the age of your child as a teenager. But you better be the one to talk to your children about contraceptives and not the world. There is a document flying online right now that teaches children how to use contraceptives. They have the pictures, they have how to use it, how to wear it, online. And so your child feels that, okay, mommy says we should not have sex, right? So that I don't get pregnant. Don't worry, there's a way not to get pregnant. They do pills, they do condoms, they do. But you have to tell them that even though these contraceptives are available, they are not for you. They have, they have consequences. This can mess up your hormone. This can mess up your body. This can make you gain weight. This can make you do this. This can make you do that. So that when they learn it from you and they go out there And their friends are telling them, oh, what's the big deal? I've been using this pill since I was in SS3. You tell them, you don't even know what, your child is the one that will now be defending them. All right? Your child is the one that is going to now be defending you rather and say, no, contraceptives are bad for children of God who are not married. They are not meant for you. Your body, your hormonal makeup, let me teach you how to say it. Your hormonal makeup is not mature enough to handle contraceptives. Let them know that. Your body is not mature enough to, if you use it now, it will mess up your body. The same way that there are some drugs, there are some malaria drugs that tell them, if you buy any drug, you see that they write to be used by children of so age, adult so age, because if a child uses this particular dosage, it can harm the adults. What you are doing is you are putting some fear in them. So even if they are being pressured, they are afraid that, I know that this thing has a side effect. So let them know about that, especially if you have a teenager who's ready to go into the university. Prepare your child. Let them know they can't meddle with sex. They can't meddle with contraceptive. They can't meddle with abortion. Right? They can't meddle with even sleeping over in a guy's house. No sleepovers. Right? So give them that kind of conversation. Hear their own thought about the kind of lifestyle they want to have. Okay? Teach them a lot about emotional intelligence. Right? Teach them a lot about, understanding their body and protecting themselves. How to ask for help when they are in trouble. We need to have conversations with our children like that, especially with Christians. We don't want our children to fight. We don't want them to get involved in trouble.
Shy away from.
Yes. But you need to discuss how they can defend themselves when trouble comes. Sometimes your child is not looking for fights, but they have brought fights to her. They have brought trouble to her. What does she do? Do you understand me? She says, oh, I wasn't fighting, but they brought fight. What is she supposed to do? Teach them defense mechanism. Teach them how to seek help. Teach them how to ask for help. Teach them how to diplomatically wiggle their way out of a brewing fight. How to shut down a bully without fighting. You need to teach them all of those things. Teenagers can hear a lot. Okay? I'll go back to you, Ma.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So those points of yours were very clear, especially the part that got me where you said that for a child going into the university, that parents should clearly talk to them about contraceptives, because when you shy away from it and they get into the university, that they would see people using it, girls will talk about it in the hostel and they will become confused. All right, thank you so much, ma. You have been a blessing. I will still have you one, you still take one more time before you go, so just hold on. Let me add just 2 or 3 points. Another conversation you must have with your children: tell them the importance of honor, respect, and obedience. You can refer them to Ephesians 6 verse 2 and 3 that says, children, honor your father and your mother, so that your days will be long and so that it will be well with you. Show them in the scripture. Am I the one who wrote this? They will say no. Who wrote it? God. What are you supposed to do? I should honor, respect, and obey my parents and elders. And what would you get when you do this? Long life and success, because that scripture says it will be well with you and you will live long. So tell them that in 2025 you expect them to respect elders more. You expect them to be more obedient. You expect them to give more honor to elders. Another thing is, tell them that even if cheating gets them success now, that success will not last long. Tell them that they should not cheat or cut corners to achieve anything. That success that is earned by hard work, success that is earned by growth, is the true success that lasts long. You can tell them this, my quote alongside it. You want to write it down. If you jump up, you will fall down. It's only when you grow up that you stay there. So they need to patiently follow process. They need to patiently grow. They should not be in a rush. Oh, let me cheat to pass this exam. We have had people that had 2-1 first class. They got it by cheating in the university, and today they are nowhere. And we have other people that studied hard, and even though they had 2-2, time and chance favored them and they were able to turn out well in life, emphasize the importance of focus, hard work, intentional growth, and that they should not cheat or cut corners. Number 3, teach them self-control. A lot of children go, adrift because they don't have self-control. When they are confronted with temptation, they don't know what to do. They don't know, they are so confused that eventually they fall. So tell them that whenever you feel this thing is wrong, don't do it. No matter the pressure, don't do it. And one of the strategies you can use in telling them this, you can first tell them to tell you what they wish to become in future. Okay, let's say, for example, I want to become a medical doctor. Can you picture yourself in that white medical gown? Your child says yes. Now, when you make the bad choices, when you do the bad things, when you don't have self-control, when you just blend into trend and vogue anyhow, it will make you not to achieve that picture you have created. You make it a bit dramatic so that you can curry their focus and their attention. So that is another point. Also, I've spoken about they should not cut corners. They should honor and respect elders more, because a lot of children are so mannerless today. Then tell them about self-control, that whenever they feel like something is not right, they should pause and reconsider. They should just not involve themselves in things. They should consider, what would this thing lead to? If my parents find out I'm doing this, will they be proud of me or will they be ashamed of me? Things like that. So these are some of the conversations I believe that parents should have with their children. Auntie Omolayo, the last part before we release them.
Really fast about this so that we can go on time. Thank you for being patient and following us. Finally, is the conversation you want to have with your adult children, especially the young adults in their 20s, in their mid-20s. Now is the time to talk about their goals, their career goals. What path do they want to get into? Some of them are just saying, okay, I just want to do this job for now to make money, but this is what I really want to do. Encourage them, all right? Know what they desire to do. Some of them went to school to study that course because you made them. They are really not interested in doing that. All right, they are really not interested in study. They don't want to use that course. Some of them are going into tech. Some of them are going into, many of them are going into tech, business analysis, all of those things. So ask them, this course you study, is that what you really want to get into? Or there are other things you want to do? I'm going to support you in any way. Some of them want to go into business. They want to do buying and selling. They want to do buying and selling. And they are saying, oh, what is this? Ask them, how can I support this? Because they are adults now. You need to know that you cannot, there's an extent to which you can push them anymore. But they also need to know that even though they're adults, they still have a parent in you. They can still be your baby. But if you keep telling them, oh, that's why I sent you to study medicine, you can't tell me you can't study, you can't work as a medical doctor. Hello, daddy and mommy. You are not the one that will be in that job. All right. So if she says, no, I don't want to be a medical doctor anymore, I want to go into music, find a way you can support them. All right. Find a way you can support them and their vision. Now, the next critical one is also about, okay, are you dating anyone right now? We have said don't date for so long that I forget that one day they'll be old enough to date. They will be old enough to date, right? And some of them, 19, 20, they are done with school. They are very fast with academics. They are done with school. They have served. Some of them are doing their masters. They are just, ask them, do you think you are ready for a relationship? What does the man or woman that you want, what does the picture look like to you? Yeah? Let them tell you. You share with them. These are red flags that you must run away from when you meet somebody. These are ways to know whether a boy or a girl likes you. Because see, they're in that stage and they need your guidance to choose right. If you have made any marital error, use it as an example and tell them. There was a time that, I married this person and the marriage did not work because I didn't see this, I didn't see that, or because I closed my eyes to this, I closed my eyes. Use yourself and let them learn from you. Some of us are too guarded. You are too secretive. So even your children cannot benefit from your errors. Don't waste your mistakes. If you don't want the world to benefit from it, then let your children benefit from your errors. And how do they benefit from your errors if you don't share with them? Especially relationship and marital errors. Share with them. These were the things I did wrong that made me lose my husband or lose my wife to divorce. These are the things, all right? Or these are the things that I've done right that has made me have a good marriage. These were the things I did in making a choice. Discuss it with them. If there's anybody they are seeing, tell them you want to meet them. And they tell them, say, this is not like you're introducing your husband to me. Let me just see who the person is. Send me a picture. You know, in a friendly manner, talk to them about it. And some of them that are already, right, dating, tell them, beware of premarital sex. You don't stop ringing that in their ears. Beware of premarital sex, right? Let them know how normal it is for them to be sexually aroused. Every time I have to talk to my mentees who are young adults, I let them know that I had struggles before I got married, you know, sexually, right? Because I mean, I love my husband. My husband is a very cool, calm, handsome young man. I'll definitely be sexually attracted to him, right? But I remember one of those days that God told me that if you dare to have sex with this guy before you get married, this marriage is never going to hold. Despite the fact that it was God that told both of us to marry each other. So that word alone just kept me away and said, see, no matter what is doing in my body, sex cannot happen. And I've used that story several times to help my mentees to stay away from premarital sex until they are married. So you need to share your personal stories to help, you know, adults to you know, find their way around relationship. If they're having troubles in their relationship, let them be able to talk to you. But one thing I want to say is, no matter the age of your children, all right, they need a mentor that is not you. I'm going to say that again. No matter the age of your children. Hello, can you hear me, ma?
Yes, I can hear you, ma. I can hear you.
No matter the age of your children, they need a mentor that is not you. What you need a mentor for is for their mentor to confirm what you are saying. If you are the only one they are listening to, they will take it for granted. But if you are saying it, their mentors are saying it, they tend to see that, okay, I think that this is the world view. Okay? So find a mentor like Auntie Taye Lolu. She's doing a fantastic job with them for the past how many years now? Register them 3 years, and it's passed through all ages. Okay? Let them be registered with Auntie Taye. Let her mentor them. Your mind will be at rest, knowing that Auntie Taye will resolve that. Okay, now some of them may have gone through some form of trauma, you know, in one way or the other. I'm a trauma coach, and I can take them up on therapy. And if you as a parent also feel that maybe because you've gone through a divorce, sexual abuse, domestic violence, or any form of loss, you need to see a therapist, I'm going to be able to do that for you. All we are doing tonight is to make sure that we build a wholesome family, because the wholesome family that makes a wholesome society. Thank you for, you know, listening to us tonight. God bless you.
Please, I want you to go to your comment section and write some things about yourself. What you just said now that you do, write it and add your phone number again while I round up. You can do that while I. So, Auntie Omola, you said a lot of points that are very germane to the outcome your children would have in 2025, and I also buttressed what she said by you know, with a few points of mine as well. Please, I don't think I've ever heard the parents who has ever told their children that they came last in class when they were students. A lot of you will keep saying, I came first when I was in secondary school. I was the best in this. When I was in university, I did. You don't share your mistakes with your children. I think this is a problem. It's a major problem that we are having with our parenting. Because when you don't share your mistakes with your children, it makes them to be scared of realistically talking to you about the challenges they are having, because they already have a picture perfect image about you. So when they are failing or they are having trouble with their studies, they are afraid to come home to talk to you, because you have painted a picture of Alpha and Omega in their head. So instead of talking to you that, oh, I'm struggling with basic science, I'm struggling with geography, they would rather just look for a friend to discuss it with. When you share your mistakes with your children, it helps them to want to come to you. It helps them to see you as a human and humane person that they can bring their challenges to as well. So I think this aspect itself needs to be checked by the parents and due corrections made. So tell your children the areas where you struggled. Like Auntie Omolayo said, maybe you are a divorcee, tell your children why you divorced. Maybe you have a successful marriage, tell your children how you were able to make that right choices and how you were able to have a good home, especially the teenagers and upward. Tell them, okay, tell them you can come to me when you are facing challenges. You can come to me when you are scared. You can come to me when you are anxious. And like I said earlier, you must help them to build intimacy with God, no matter their age. I usually tell my children, whenever you are having any problem, before you come to me, talk to God about it. Tell God that, God, I know you love me. I'm going through this problem. Please, I need your help. I need you to help me so that I can sort it. I need you to bring me out of this problem. And when you are done talking to God, then you can talk to me. All right. And I usually tell the children in my mentorship program too. So please, I want you to watch this video again. I want you to share it on your Facebook profiles so that other parents can as well be helped. Because of course, as parents generally, we want to see our children doing better next year. We want to see our children having better outcomes. We want to see them being more upright, more responsible. We want them to become improved versions of themselves, versions that we can be proud of, versions that we can boast about. And I know that if you follow the recommendations, the tips, and the suggestions that we gave in this program, there's no way your children won't do better. Concerning the sexuality, be upfront, be real, be frank with them, because a lot of sexual abuses are going around in the world today. And finally, Auntie Omolayo Yawoye is a trauma and sexuality education coach. She is good. You know, when I was doing my mentorship program, I would teach the children morality, I would teach them spirituality, I would advise them and all of that. And when some of them were having issues relating to, you know, sexuality, I wasn't equipped for it. It was clear. I knew I wasn't equipped. So I now, you know, I've been following Auntie Omolayo, and I picked my phone one day and I called her and we began to talk, and I told her I run a virtual mentorship program where I mentor children, adolescents and young adults. I teach them morality, spirituality, I coach, I do this, but I need you for sexuality education. I need you. You know, I prayed about it and the Lord said she was the answer. And since then, it's almost 2 years now that you've been talking to my mom. Every second Saturday in the month, you know, on Google Meet, she talks to all my mentees, all the children that I mentor. And even when I have, you know, I stay in Akure Ondo State, she stays in Lagos. When I have issues with my mentees who are in Lagos, Auntie Omolayo, we go to their house to look for them, you know, to handle that situation. So she's hands-on. She has written some beautiful books. People invite her to programs to talk. She was herself a victim of sexual abuse when she was younger. So she's anointed to talk about it. So if you have observed that your children are having maybe pornography, masturbation, fornication issues, or sexual abuse issue, or trauma, please, she is the best person you can talk to. If you go through those comments, you will see her phone number, or you can call me so that I can give you her phone number if you cannot trace. So finally, I want you to, I'm recommending my virtual mentorship program to you. I want you to register your children with me for mentorship. It is an online program. It is virtual. I talk to the children on Google Meeting every weekend. I call them. I discuss them with their parents so that they can be better individuals. So my phone number is also here. I can call it out. Perhaps you want to save it. You know, you can chat me or call me and say, oh, I want to register my child with you. I will be glad. 08038408948. So God bless you, Auntie Omola. Your parting words.
Thank you.
Parting words.
Thank you. Thank you, all parents, for being with us tonight. We know that you are a fantastic parent. That's why you're here, actually. If you're not interested in being a good parent, you want to be joining us. So we are very assured that you're up to the task. We are rooting for you, and we know you will do great for them. So have that conversation before the new year. And maybe if it's the new year, you're going to see them, have that conversation and be, look out to see improvements. When you see improvements, celebrate it, give them a thumbs up, and let them be happy that, yes, my parents have seen it. God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you. Good night. God bless you, everyone. I love you. Auntie Omolayo, thank you. We'll talk on WhatsApp. God bless you.
Yes,
Thank you.